Hey guys, thanks for watching our shows.
We're getting close to 1 million subscribers, so we'd love for you to help us out and hit that subscribe button and become part of the PowerNation family.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, where you can stay up to date on all the giveaways and contests, like the Corvette that we built here on Detroit Muscle. You can enter to win it right now.
Stay tuned for American-made muscle next.
Today is the day. Street Regal is finally complete. We head to M&M Hot Rod Interiors as they put the final touches on our one-of-a-kind interior.
Then we put all our hard work to the test on the track and the streets, making sure our Buick checks off all the right boxes.
Hey y'all, welcome to Detroit Muscle. Today is gonna be one great day. We're headed down to M&M Hot Rod Interiors to pick up our Buick. We dropped it off a while back and I got a phone call just recently saying that the thing was pretty much ready for us to come check it out and drag it back home. Now they have done some work for us in the past, and what they did, well, they knocked it out of the park. So with that said, I can't wait to check our Buick out. Hey, Wild Man, you left the door unlocked, so I made my way in here.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes we mess up and do that.
Is this our stuff?
Yep, this is it.
You got anything completed yet?
Yeah, absolutely. We got one seat finished.
Can I take a look at it?
Sure.
Where's it at?
Sitting on the table.
Man, this is one trick piece, bud.
Well, thank you, Tommy. Glad you like it.
Man, how much time you got in on this thing?
Oh, probably a day, day and a half.
Now, to build this, does it take a whole lot of different material to do it?
Well, we start out with clear plastic to get the patterns, and you really need to do that on one of these that's got all the multiple pieces. And so that way you get everything fitting right and it sews up good. And so that and some foam and different textures of leather.
Now, with the foam, did you have to re-foam this entire seat?
The inserts are all new. The sides, we just steam the old foam and it kind of plumps it back up, and then we glue a 1/4-inch scrim over it with the scrim side out to make the cover slide on easier.
Okay, then.
Because these are kind of tough to get the covers on.
Now, I noticed with the leather, there's a couple different ones here.
Yeah, we used a smooth dark brown, and just for contrast, because, I don't know, these cars need a little contrast. And then we used a perforated insert, which is a lot like the late model cars. The perforated leather will breathe, and you don't sweat as much.
I got you. Is it a little more stretchy too?
It's a little more stretchy because of all the little needle holes, and it is a little more pliable than, say, this leather.
Okay. Now, I see the rivets here, and this is kind of a trendy thing. Is that very complicated to do?
Nah, not hard at all. You want me to show you?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Now, with part of this laid out here, it doesn't look all that complicated, but that seat, well, that's a little different story.
Yeah, it looks a little different when you just get the insert ready. But we got this one stitched up and it's ready to put the grommets in.
Do we have to cut the hole first?
Yep, got to punch a hole.
Now, with your spacing, is there anything particular, like a rule of thumb or anything?
Just depends on the seat and the width of the insert, the way the insert's laid out. These ended up being 3.5 inches, and so then I center the grommet 3.5 inches in between there.
All right.
But you could do it if it's a 4-inch or even a 2-inch.
What we need to do to get started then?
We need to punch some holes.
And to make those nice uniform holes, he's using a specialized hole punch. After a few taps of the hammer, you got perfection.
That's all there is to it. There we go.
Now, what's this big hunk of metal you got?
Just a special grommet setting tool. And they make different sizes for different size grommets. So I've got several, and then you do it bottom side up.
Can you damage the material putting this on there?
Nah, not really. Not as long as you don't miss.
How do you know whenever it's compressed all the way?
Just a couple of licks with a hammer, and that's all you got.
Yeah, it looks nice. Silly question, but do you have any idea where them things came from?
The grommets?
Yeah. Like where they originated, what was the purpose for them?
Just a breathing hole.
That's all it is?
They used to put them on the bottom of boat seat cushions and furniture cushions to let air escape.
Now people are using them for stylistic purposes.
Yeah, just the coolness factor. And there we go.
You make it look too easy.
Ah, nothing to it.
When you're working on your project car or daily driver, rockauto.com has everything you need to get it back on the road, like brake parts, and we're talking more than just pads. They offer calipers, hoses, and of course rotors like these drilled and slotted ones. Drilled and slotted rotors help remove heat, especially during spirited or track conditions, and the slots help remove the brake dust as you drive, effectively improving braking performance. They even carry a bunch of hard-to-find components that you can find on their website by searching year, make, model, or you can type the part number in the part number search. It'll cross-reference it for you.
Coming up, we button up Street Regal's luxurious interior. Our interior's turning out killer, and just like those fancy seats, our door panels are fancy as well. Now, Jeremy told me that fabbing up this stuff isn't as complicated as it looks. He's working on that driver's side. Let's check him out. So, Wild Man, what do you got going on here?
Well, we've got your driver's door panel here, and we're about ready to laminate the second panel onto the first one.
How did you get to this point?
Well, we drew out the design, we cut our panels apart, and then we went ahead and glued this panel on just because that's easier, foamed it, and then we've got the leather covered on it already.
Alrighty. So what's your next step?
Next step is we're going to bond this one to this one. We're going to put the pins in these holes and go straight down with it. And we'll press it down really well just to make sure that the panels stick together good. Now we're going to press our edges down so that when we glue our other panel on, it's nice and flat. With the leather smoothed out now on the panel, what we're going to do is we're going to glue the top panel on. And we need to go ahead and spray the glue on both sides.
How much glue are you putting on?
Just a thin layer. You just want a good even coat, not too thick or not too wet so that it takes forever to dry. And when we spray the glue on this panel, I'm going to try not to get any on the foam because we don't want the foam to stick before it needs to. Now we're going to come back and brush glue along all the edges.
That's basically because it's more controlled?
Yes, you get a lot more control over it with a brush.
Figure while you would be brushing, you'd at least have your pinkies out, you know.
Well, that would make me look more fancy.
Pinstripers do it. Now, if you got that a little excessive and it run off to the edge, can you get that off?
You can. You can use 3M cleaner to clean the glue off.
When you spread that on there, how long do you have to wait?
It'll be about 10 to 15 minutes, just enough time for it to tack up so you can stick them together. Or now that we've let the glue set up on the panels, we're going to stick the two panels together. Now with the top panel glued on, we're going to fold the leather and the foam back and spray glue on the back side of the foam and on the top cap. Now we just need to give that a few minutes to dry and then we'll stick it together. With our glue dry, now we'll just smooth out our foam. Now we just need to take a razor blade and trim away all the excess. Now with our foam glued and trimmed, you can kind of see the unevenness on the panel. What we're going to do now is take our sanding block, our sandpaper, and just sand that down and try to do away with this dip. All right, Tommy. With our foam sanded, all we got to do is spray glue on the foam and the leather, and then fold the leather over and finish the panel. Once that dries, we'll finish the panel. All right, now we're ready to apply our leather. On the outside looking in, it looks like for a creative person, this would be an amazing job. Oh yeah, you pretty much got freedom on all your designs and everything. You know, sometimes we work with renderings, but a lot of time it's just whatever we come up with. With that smoothed down, all that's left to do is turn it over and finish it on the back side. All right, that's it. All that's left is to put it on the car. Man, I can't wait to see it. All right, and that's ready to go.
M&M took our Buick to the next level. She now has a full custom upholstery with high-end Douglas leather. They showed off their skills by using multiple textures, rivets, and pleats to give us an aggressive interior, while yet keeping it refined to complement our Buick by selecting the perfect color combinations accompanied with pure craftsman style stitching. The only thing we have to do now is go enjoy our creation out on the pavement.
The T56 6-speeds found in 4th Gen F bodies are a popular swap trans for many cars, both foreign and domestic, including 3rd Gen Camaros and just about anything you can put an LS in. And that was the ideal swap trans until now. This is the Magnum-F from American Powertrain. It's a direct fit for those F bodies, but it also fits many other vehicles. It's got a 26-spline input shaft, it's got chrome moly gears and shafts, 3-cone synchros, and 2 gear ratio options, a wide and a tight, both with double overdrives. It has the same 700 pound-feet capacity as a regular Magnum, but in a smaller package, so check them out at AmericanPowertrain.com.
The journey has been long, but worth it.
We'll take Street Regal to the track and lay down some rubber. We are here at NCM Motorsports Park because this is where this car was built to perform, right, Tommy?
Not exactly. We built this car over the course of many moons, and I tell you, having it out of here on a day like today is going to be a great day.
Well, we built Sidewinder to battle this thing, and unfortunately that car's long gone now, and I had a nice trip out to Tulsa with that car, had a lot of fun, and even though this car is really kind of focused more for the street, thus the name Street Regal, I think even you will be surprised at what this thing can do out here.
Man, absolutely. This car's got the right combo under it. Big brakes, nice suspension, plenty of power up under the hood, and I tell you, Mark, keys are in it. I'm gonna let you do the honors.
All right. That's what I wanted to hear.
Don't break her.
I'll try not to.
You can abuse her, but don't break her. Now, a few of you guys are probably curious why I gave the keys away to Mark so easily. Well, Mark's a friend of mine, and he's pulled a lot of hours putting that car together right there beside me. And you know, out here on the track, I know that's really where he shines. So heck, sometimes you just gotta give good things away.
Wow, this thing is super flat. Wow, this thing actually likes it out here. Well, first thing I noticed, lots of power. And lots of grip, too. A lot of lateral grip. Big meats in the back, plenty of grip in the front, plenty of braking, lots of braking. You know, being that this thing is a Buick Regal, a grandma's car, essentially, you know, it's a little odd, especially with this steering wheel and being an automatic, it's slightly awkward. It's just not your normal track car, and I know this isn't a track car, and Tommy will argue that's not what it was built for, but this thing's plenty capable. You know, it's like kind of got an identity crisis to me because, you know, it's a street car, but it's capable of doing anything you ask of it out here. Its limits are, well, kind of what I can do. I can't really upshift and downshift very easily because it's an automatic, so limited there. As much lateral grip as it has, I'm finding myself holding myself in the car, in the seat, with the steering wheel, with my grip on the steering wheel. So I'm finding myself putting less input in or taking the turns a little more slowly because I can't stay in the seat. And it's actually kind of fun. It's awesome. Coming down the straight now. Easily surpassing 100. All the gauges are happy. I'm happy.
I'm not sure, but this old Buick may have converted you. What do you think?
No, I think we converted it.
No, that's a given. From where I was at up there, man, this thing looked great.
The complaint I have, I mean, it needs harnesses, you know, if it had a stick, but I understand that's not what this car was built for, right?
Right.
But if I had to blame something on it, it'd be that. But, you know, that's our fault. Yeah, we didn't do it for that. The only other thing is it almost like has an identity crisis. So it's like acceleration, plenty of acceleration, hard acceleration, all the power you want. But then again, when you're not under hard acceleration, it's like it's comfortable and it's quiet, and it's like it's trying to be two different things at the same time, and it's not doing either one of those really poorly. So it's a cruiser and it's a potential racer if it had those few components, but again, it's not what it was built to do.
Right. This car here, for me per se, I just wanted it to perform really well, but I didn't want to sacrifice any comforts or even the appeal of it by going fast. You know what I'm saying?
Mission accomplished.
Man.
The suspension, the brakes, I mean, the handling and the acceleration, I mean, everything under the car is like all there.
Good deal.
All there.
Sounds like we did all right then. Sounds like we did all right.
Good job. Hand it to you.
I have to say, man, up in that Crozon S, seeing this thing rip around, it was quite the sight. This thing looks darn good ripping.
You do it.
Man,
see what I'm talking about.
I bet you run up all the fuel in this thing. Let's see what it, what is the gas gauge?
I think it's got an 8th tank.
You ran it out of gas. It don't have an 1/8 of a tank. It has. That's why you wanted me to drive it. You want me to fill it back up.
Make sure you put premium in it.
As its name implies, we take our Buick to the street to see how regal it really is. Now, getting out here on these back roads and stretching this thing out is definitely putting a smile on my face. We've been working on this car for a long time. We went through the suspension, we've done paint and body work on it, had the interior redone. Basically, this car's been touched from the front bumper to the back. And you know that itself is quite the undertaking. A key component of building a car that performs well going, stopping, turning, and all is having a solid foundation. So whenever we went with the Street Rod Garage chassis, well, we knew we had knocked it out of the park. Now, whenever you're putting together a ride, one thing that I can't stress enough is picking the right color, because this is what everyone sees and you see. If you don't pick the right color, every time you see the car, well, it can leave you a little bit disheartened. Where this color that we picked is deep cherry red, very tasteful. It's almost making my mouth water already. Now, Mark was pretty complimentary of the Buick when he was out there beating on the thing at the track, saying that it performed really nice. Now, for me, a track car is okay, but the sweet spot is having a ride that you can take to the track and stretch out here on the highway. Now, with that connecting cruise that we put up under the hood of this thing, the power level on it is 525 horse. And that's almost like the perfect number. It's got plenty of pep, it's got a lot of manners to it, and if you want to get a little rowdy, well, that's as easy as smashing on the gas pedal. Some people call it spirited driving. I just kind of call it goofing off. There ain't no line, this old girl a rock and roll. Put a car together like this, it's pretty easy to have a good time. Sometimes I question myself, did I pick like the right occupation? And I have to say, yes, because sometimes it just seems like your project will consume you because you're putting all your spare time, spare money into it, and sometimes it seems like you're not really getting that far. But finally, you get over that threshold and you complete it. And this car here, yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. The nice thing about being out here in the sticks is plenty of places to do a big pro mod burnout. Too bad. Wasn't even trying hard. Phew! All that smoke blowing around, that's a sign that this thing's plenty peppy. Guess you can say this Buick's got all the goods. Looks, performance, ride, comfort. Home run. Well, I sure am glad you didn't crash my baby out there on the racetrack.
Well, I appreciate that, but where I was, there weren't any traffic laws to break.
Yeah, I could probably say I stretched them out a little bit, but you know, it was fun, but you know, now it's time to wrap this thing up.
Right, so we've got to wrap up the project, but as you can also see, we've wrapped the car with this car cover that we got from Covercraft. This is their most luxurious indoor car cover called the Form Fit.
It's made with polyester and spandex on the outside and 100% cotton shear to a fleece finish on the inside.
It's breathable, washable, protects against minor garage dings, and even comes with a 4-year warranty.
You can even add yourself a bit of a custom touch like we did with a logo.
And my favorite part about it is all these covers are made right here in the USA.
And this thing's been a lot of fun.
I know, man. I can't believe it's finally done.
So finally,